We're live. We're live. Is my audio okay? Can you hear me? We're just gonna let it fill up, people. Something I've been watching a Decca video. Something I'm not a little bit happy on. I'm just giving an opposing view. That's all. We're just gonna let it build up. So let the viewers come in, people. Let the viewers come in. Afternoon, people. So who's watched that Decca fight? Because there's two things in that fight, right? Don't sit right with me. Yes, Lee, look, there's something about that Decca fight. It's a random one, Decca and Tom. Well, it's a random live. It's just an opposing view. Right, two things I'm not happy. Three things I'm not happy with that fight. Yes, Lee Brown, bro. Yes, go on, Joe. Joe Brown. There's something on that Decca fight. If everyone can hit the likes, boys. Yeah, but right. That was it was a bare knuckle fight, but it was all kicking and everything involved. Like, wasn't it? The first 3 seconds, that kid hit Decker, he fell to the floor. Why did Decker let him get back up? First thing he should have done was anyone with a little bit of fight IQ, right, would have smothered him. Afternoon, John. Hope you're all well. And yeah, just had a nice family night in. I'm deciding not to waste Friday night sitting on fucking YouTube, in a weather like this. But I looked at the fight, right, Joe, and do you know what? You know when he tapped, right? I don't think he tapped. I think he told Decker to take it easy on him, right? And when he fell to the floor, Decker's got quite a good fight IQ. I wouldn't say he's the best, and I'm not backing Decker up, right? And I'm not backing out Tom up, right? This is an opposing view, right? The first 4 seconds, that guy kicked him, he fell to the floor. Why did Decker let him back up? And I don't think when that guy tapped, I don't think he tapped. I think he was telling Decker to go easy on him, right? Let's just look at this, right, outside of the box, people, yeah? Right, I don't like Decker more than the next man, right? But if you had a 22 stone guy and a 9 stone guy, and people turned around to you and said, "What, do you want to put bets on?" Anyone with half a brain would have betted on Decker, yeah? So think of all the money that was made on the losses on that fight, yeah? So that's factor one I'm not happy with. Factor two I'm not happy with, yeah, it's like I said in the beginning, the first few seconds, that fight could have been over. Why did Decca let him get back up? Right, they're fighting. This is not like a gentleman's fight or an exhibition fight. Do you know what I mean? Hiya, Peggy. How are you, love? Hiya, Peg. Morning, everyone. No, I know I'm doing a random live stream. Basically, Peggy, there's a couple of things. I am Mr. England. Yes, right. Listen to this, right, Mr. England. Listen to this, right. Three things I'm not happy with our fight, right, and I'll put them in alphabetical order. Number one, first few seconds, right. It was in the first 4 seconds that kid went down. Anyone with the slightest fight IQ would have been all over him, right. They would have put the elbow right in his head, but they never, right. So that's one factor of the fight that I'm not happy with. Second factor in the fight I'm not happy with. I don't, and this is nothing personal against Tom. I think, right, that when he tapped, I don't think he tapped. I think he told him to go easy on him. And the third factor I didn't like is anyone with half a brain, right? So say you had the 22 stone guy standing in front of you, and you had a 9 stone guy. The logical thing to do, the business sense thing to do, it's basic 101, isn't it? Everyone should have, everyone would have betted on Decker, even if it was a small amount. So think of all the money that was made, yeah, because everyone thought, right, it's obviously Decker's got this fight. It's just a little fight in between, isn't it? So those are the three things, right, I'm really not happy with that fight. Not happy with it. And the pay-per-views as well, all the pay-per-views as well, which went in for that fight. So they're the three things I'm not happy with, community. And about Motos, how are you? We're just going to go through the chat. We're just going to say hello to everybody. We got Joe Brown, we got Peggy, we got Mr. England. Monk, how are you, lads? I was nice you had. Do you know what? I took a leaf out of your book. You went out yesterday with the wife and that. Fuck that, but I'm not spending my time on YouTube on a Friday like a dickhead, bruv. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, but isn't it funny though? I was expecting like an opposing view yesterday on exposure TVs. There was no opposing view. I'm with you, John. Not a Roxy supporter, but it was dodgy. Seemed like Decca was scared he would get done off Venus, etc. Brev, I'm pinning our comments. Look, right, this is nothing personal against anybody. As I said, right, I'm not a Decca supporter. I don't know too much about that, Tom. But what I seen on that fight, I watched it and then I watched it again and I sat there and I took notes. Something doesn't sit right with me with that fight. Right, there was a lot of money made on Decca losing. Right, so if Decca would have lost, and I said this before they fight, right, there's going to be an astronomical amount of money that's going to be made behind the scenes. Even people who are just, I don't know, just say you've got a couple of boys watching it in a pub, right? Like, say you've got a couple of boys watching in a pub, right? And you're betting on it, right? You're going to take one look at that, Tom, and then you're going to take one look at Decca, and you're going to be like, no, Decca's going to win this fight. Do you know what I mean, community? Yeah, Joe Brown, you hit the nail on the head, right? The thing that done me right at the beginning is why didn't Decca jump on him straight away and smother him, right? Because the guy kicked him, he couldn't even shake Decca, right? He kicked him. Do you know what it seemed like? Like it was almost like an exhibition fight. I don't want to say too much, right? But it's got to be said. One, I think Decca was robbed. Two, I think that something doesn't sit right with me. I think that fight was a setup. Why didn't Decca jump on him straight away when he knocked him down? Why Decca give him a chance to get up? Right? I'm sorry, something doesn't sit right with me. Either Decca is intimidated by Paul Venus, right? People, right? Listen to what I'm saying, community. Right? I think he's intimidated by Decca. Sorry, I think Decca is intimidated by Paul Venus and the people who turned up there, right? Because it wasn't. You know when you see somebody fight and you know whether their heart is in it or not, right? His heart was in there, but it was like he was giving him too many chances. I'm sorry, I think that fucking fight was, I think it was fixed, bro. I'm putting it out there, bruv. Listen, Decca got robbed, bruv. I don't like Decca more than the next man, right? But anyone who's listening, anyone in the community now, right? That's exactly what I think happened. Joanne Graham, how are you, Lambie? How are you, lads? JPS Steve. Decca Heggie had him in a position where he could have just picked him up and slammed him, and he stood off. Brother, you're all seeing what I'm seeing, right? Why the fuck didn't anybody, right, turn round, right? It's all narrative, isn't it, people? There's no opposing view. There's no opposing view. I wanted to jump on last night, right, onto Exposure TV, right, and give an opposing view. Do you know what I mean? I'm off out for food with a family. Catch you later. Nice one, Joe. I'll be doing the same, mate. This is just a random live stream. Something that it was just bothering me. But listen, Joe, you have a good day, lad. Have a good day. I mean that. Yeah, I like Paul Venus. Joanne, I like Paul Venus, right? I think he's a good guy. I know him to be a genuine good father, right? But I'm just saying, right, what I'm seeing, right? And it's nothing personal, right? Because with any sport, right, you do have an opposing view. You know, you can't just have it all one-sided. Yeah, but fucking no, man, it's wrong. It's wrong. Something's not sitting right with me. Something is not sitting right with me. Fucking hell. Let's just say now, right? We had 1,000 people all bet a tenner, right? They just want to make their money back, right? So say they bet a tenner. Right, say 1,000 people put a tenner in on Decca to win, right? And let's say them 1,000 people hate Decca and they put that money in, right? Think how much money was made on Decca losing people, right? If you can't fucking see, yeah, when Robbie was in Decca's back, I was expecting Decca to throw him down onto his back for brother. Exactly, Monk, hit the nail on the head there, lads. That's exactly what I was expecting to happen, right? So to me now, yeah, that fight is void and they need to go again. I'm just saying opposing view, right? That fight to me is a load of bullshit, bruv. That's a load of bullshit, bruv. Ronald Spence, Decker was too convenient, never thought he was going to lose. More fool him. Yeah. Yeah, see, people, we give the opposing view here. We're very honest here. We say what we say, you know. And at the end of the day, I'm not scared to say what the fuck I want to say, right? Because I'll fucking say what I see. It was a fight put out to the public. So what John Smith does from on now, right? Anything that goes up like that, John Smith, right, will interpret it. Yeah, I'll sit there with a notepad for the community. I'll go through it in person and personally go through it. And then what I'll do then, because we only try to kill people with facts, that's what we're doing today, people. But if anyone has just joined the live stream, I'm going to reiterate what I was just saying about the Decca and Tom fight. Something's not sitting right. Anyone who's watched that fight, I'm just going to repeat this for the community. The first 4 seconds, he tried to kick Decca and fell over. Right, so the weight ratio to them two, right, instantly I thought, right, he's going to jump on him now. He's going to put a couple of elbows in his face, right? It'll be over. He'll basically smother him. And anyone, as I said, with a standard fight IQ, right? Even if you go training twice a week, yeah, or even though someone's trained you on how to throw a punch, and you're like, right, okay, it's been 3 months, I can throw a punch. Do you know what I mean, right? And I know that these two people have got good fight IQ. But when the fight was totally, it was a total mismatch, right? An absolute mismatch. That's a bookie's dream, right? It's a bookie's dream, yeah? And all of us had the wool pulled over our eyes on our fucking fight. I'm sorry, yeah? Right? Why didn't Decca jump on it, right? First 4 seconds, beginning of the fight. Tom struck Decca's leg. Decca didn't move, right? And the guy actually fell to the floor. Instantly, Decca should have jumped on him, right? Been all over him, couple of elbows, held him down, yeah, tired him out, waited for an entrance, right? Elbow, all over, all over. That didn't happen, right? So that got me suspicious. Number two, that got me very, very, very highly suspicious was I don't think he tapped. Do you know what just a personal opposing opinion, I think he tapped Decca to tell him to go easy on him. We got someone new in the chat, Maria. What do you think about Dopey Swan getting slapped, Mr. Smith? So let's just be honest, right? That Swan's just a raging. Look, you can tell he's smoking fucking geek. You can tell he's smoking weed. Look, right, I've got nothing against the guy, right? But the guy's got a bit of an attitude. Guy's an absolute wally. You know, the guy's an absolute divvy. You know, he's threatening some old guy walking his fucking dog. You know, just going around this area and that. Do you know what I mean? Trying to be a bit of a big man on camera. So to me, that's Swan. Swan is the type of guy, you know, he walk around Cardiff Centre, in my gaff, but the guy wouldn't last 10 minutes, people. He should never have to fight. Decca was convinced he was going to take him with a big punch. Aki, how are you, lad? If you've just entered the chat, Aki, basically we're talking about the Tom and Decca fight. Tom and Decca fight. And I'd like to put a statement out there first. I'd like to say I don't like Decca more than anyone, but something doesn't sit right with me with that fight, Aki, you know? How are you, Lambie? Welcome to the chat, lads. Swan makes me laugh, bugs himself up, and lost every fight I've seen. Do you know what? Right, the fight he had with what's it called? With Ben Hatchett, right? He did look as much as a divvy he is, right? He did stand and he did have a little bit of a pop. But I think what happened, he got his head shook a little bit. You know when you get a whack in the mouth, everything slows down a little bit, and he knew he was going to get knocked out. And you know, people who quit because they're too scared to get knocked out and not give it 100%, says a lot about them. Tells me a lot about that individual. So to me, he's a quitter. He's not a fighter. The guy's got a lot of anger. The guy's got a lot of rage, and he needs to reel it in. Monk, look, right, we're not here to, roast people and have a go at them, right? You know, I'm here to make people laugh. When I roast people, even the people I'm roasting, I even want them to laugh. Do you know what I mean? But I'm just speaking facts from on now. I'm not being controlled anymore. I don't speak to anyone behind, and I mean, I don't speak to nobody behind the scenes. You know, I just say what I'm seeing and giving an opposing view without being talked to in the background and controlled. You know, it's nothing personal. Do you understand? It's all good and that. But people, what do you think about the tap? You know when everyone says he tapped out, right? I think he was tapping Decca to tell him to go easy, right? But look, that's nothing personal. That's just my opposing view. You know, it's just my opposing view. And I think Decca got absolute. And look, right, I wanted him to smash Decca. Right, I'm going to be honest, Decca. I know you're watching, right, lad. It's nothing offensive, right? But I did want to see your kid get smashed to pieces. Spot on, John, about Swan. Think it's about time he gave up. Maria, that Swan in his area where he's from is known as a bit of an idiot. Do you know what I mean? Like every city, every capital city and town. You know, when you go down the main fucking shopping street in the town centre, you always got some dickhead trying to look hard, walking around like he's bad. You know, when they go to sleep and they want to be hard, and they wake up and they want to be hard, they could bump into some random person in the street and turn around and go, "Do you know what? I'm an MMA fighter. I am hard as fuck, bruv." Do you know what I mean? To me, it's just a load of polony. It's a load of Savoy. It's a load of sausage dog talk. It's very sausage doggy to me. People, this is only a short little live stream, right? I'm just putting it out there, right? When I think, right, that fight, yeah, it was either Decca was too shit scared to go deep in on him, right? Because he knew he could have put him in hospital the second he put him on the floor, and that's not backing Decca up, right? This is just an opposing view, a non-biased opposing view, right? So that's number one, right? Decca didn't jump on him. Decca didn't put the elbow in and finish the fight instantly. He gave him a chance, right? Alarm bells started ringing. The second alarm bell for me was that was not a tap. If you look at the position he was holding him, Decca was holding him for ages, wasn't he, for quite a while on the floor. And Decca, what he was doing, he was squeezing the energy out of him, wasn't he? He was squeezing the energy out of him. That wasn't a tap. That was like, take it a bit easy, mate. Take it a bit easy. And number three, before I go for John Smith, is as I said, and I know well over 1,000 people betted on that fight. Well over 1,000 people betted on that fight. Whether it's something, usually people like to bet a fiver or a tenner, right? So I'd say out of them 1,000 people, I would say 500 of them betted a tenner. Two, maybe 300 of them betted a fiver just to test the water. And the rest maybe put a 20, maybe put a 50, maybe put 100 in, right? So when you add all that money up, right, we're not into like a couple of grand, right? We're into tens and tens and tens of thousands of pounds, yeah? And I think all of us are having a fucking wool pulled over our fucking eyes, people. I'm just saying there's an opposing view. It's just an opposing view, right? Decca should have won that. Go on, I'll pull in. I'll pull in. I saw somebody walking down the road. Glenn Seward, Gaynor, Al Dragana. Fucking hell, that's very close to my middle name, that is, Dragana. I wanted the guy to batter Decca, but the way it went down was a bit shady. Decca had the chance a few times to finish him, but didn't. Very suspicious. Look, right, and at the end of the day, it's not personal. Look, everybody in the chat is saying it, right? But this is a live stream chat where we have an opposing view, where you shouldn't be scared to put in what you feel and what you see. Never forget, people, if you think that you can't talk about something or you can't bring it up, right, even if it's not having a go with somebody, even if it's being polite, yeah, you know that there's something wrong and you need to say it. Before I go, I want to leave you. Oh, Matty, more videos like that, please, sir. More shorts, more videos like that. Please, mate, please. What about screaming and shouting? Fair play, man, supporting to tell them to shut up. People taking him through the fight. Matty, look, right, let's do a live stream tonight. I can do it on your channel, my channel, whenever, right? And it's up to you, right? We can have a proper deep talk about it. And what we're doing, we're not going to be slating Tom. We're not going to be slating Decca, right? We're just giving an opposing view, like any sports channel, any media outlet would do. Because when it's on a public platform, that fight was for the public and it was for the community. And because we are the community, and because we are the public, and we are the voice of the community, we shall be doing a deep dive and a live stream, and we'll be playing the video, and we're going to do a watch along. Matty, I would love nothing better for you to come over to give your opposing view. We're not going to be talking about any other people in the community or anything. We're going to have a themed talk about the fight, about things that is puzzling and perplexing the community. We can also be talking about as well the money that was spent on it. Why? Sorry, madam. Thank you. And we're also going to be speaking about tonight, why didn't Decca jump on him? Yeah, and the dynamics of that fight. And what we're going to do as well, we're going to have a look at another fight that Decca's had, and we're going to compare the differences. Because at the end of the day, nobody pays me to fucking talk gas online, right? John Smith can't be bought. Ian Beale, Jelly Deals, thank you for joining in the live stream. How are you, sir? But yeah, what we're going to be doing, we're going to have an opposing view, and it's going to be brutally honest. We're not having a go at anyone. We're not going to try and take a victory away from anybody. We're not going to be virtue signaling or anything like that. Zeus comments. I would love nothing better for you tonight to jump on. So I know you're an educated man. I know you know how to deal with the live streams and everything like that. So if you would like, sir, I would like you and Matty on my live stream tonight, and we're going to just talk about some of the issues the community has with the Tom and Decca fight. And if Tom, I know you're listening, I know this live stream's going to get back to you, sir. Tom, if you would like to come on my live stream and we could have a talk and just have a little run through down to the fight, and we can have your opinion. I would love nothing better, right, than for that, sir. I mean that. Right, everyone, before I go, I'm going to leave you with the final thought of the day. The final thought of the day is, you can fool most of the people most of the time, but you can't fool all the people all the time. Look after yourselves, put the phone down, and get out in the sun. Thank you, everyone, for joining the John Smith Show.